friends, and welcome back to our channel, or welcome if you're new here. Today we're diving into what life is really like here in Utah. This is the place I've proudly called home for the last 28 years, and let me tell you, it's no longer a hidden gem. Utah's big reveal came during the 2002 Winter Olympics, and since then we've been one of the fastest growing states in the US.
So whether you're up in the mountain towns like Park City, or you're down in the bustling Wasatch Front, or maybe even just soaking up the sun in southern Utah, the state offers a diverse range of lifestyles. Let's chat about what living in Utah could mean for you.
If this is your first time to this channel and you want to know everything about living, eating, sleeping, working, and playing in northern Utah, then subscribe below and tap the bell for notifications so you can be the first to know about the current market here in northern Utah.
We are Sloan and Kim Peterson here with the Peters Group, and we've been doing real estate for over 10 years, and we help people just like you looking to buy, sell, relocate, and invest here in northern Utah. Whether you're looking to move here in 9 days or 90 days, go ahead and give us a call, shoot us a text, or just send us an email. All that information is in that description box below, and we would love to help you make that smooth transition here to northern Utah.
So first up, let's talk daily life. A lot of folks move here for work, but even more come for the insane outdoor activities. From snow-capped peaks to desert landscapes, the scenery is just top notch. Living here means the great outdoors isn't just a weekend destination, it's in your backyard. Whether you're in Heber or Provo or up north here in Ogden, you're never more than 20 minutes away from a trailhead or mountain path. In fact, we've had multiple friends over the years move here simply for the outdoor activities, and sometimes they don't even have a job here yet. If the outdoors is a big part of your way of life, then Utah's probably one of the most perfect places for you to call home. You really can't mention Utah without talking about the great outdoors. We're known for having the greatest snow on earth, and it's a paradise for skiers and snowboarders alike. But the fun doesn't stop when the snow melts. Utah is home to 5 stunning national parks, each offering unique landscapes and adventures. And let me tell you, this is the first year that we've really explored our own national parks here at home, and I absolutely love them. There's a reason why they're so popular, and it's like nothing you've ever experienced.
It's kind of cool too, because everyone, when you look at the red rock, you kind of just feel like, oh, it's all going to be the same, and they are totally different. And the cool thing about it too is not just our parks here, we have a lot of state parks that are super cool as well. If you've never even heard of Goblin Valley, you should check that out. If you love stargazing, if you go there when it's a new moon, so that means obviously if you don't know, it means when there's no moon at all, it's kind of black, you can actually see every star in the sky. It's really cool. We are also only 4.5 hours from Yellowstone and the Tetons, so we're close to really everything as far as a lot of the country's best national parks.
Yeah, in terms of being an outdoor enthusiast, I would have a strong argument to say that there's no better place to call your home hub than Utah.
Now on to commuting. Believe it or not, Utah has one of the lowest average commute times compared to other western US cities. This was crazy when we were doing the research for this video. When I used to drive or commute from Salt Lake to northern Utah, so like more like Ogden area, it used to drive me crazy. I felt like I was sitting in traffic forever. So I couldn't even imagine that being like a good time compared to like somewhere like LA or San Francisco or New York or whatever. But yeah, believe it or not, the average time we sit in traffic is about 22 minutes compared to our friends that moved out here. They were saying it was like more an hour plus, and they're only commuting like 5 or 10 miles or something.
Yeah, so for people that move here, they're always like, I want to be within a half hour of where I work, and that opens up so many cities here in Utah. But like Sloan said, for us locals, the traffic has gotten worse as we've grown in population. So for us, we're like, this is terrible. But in comparison to when you hear from, people from California, Washington, everything, like our traffic is really minimal.
So one of the good things though, as we are experiencing growth, the state is really advancing in a lot of infrastructure. We have a new West Freeway that's going to help with a lot of that traffic backup. And so it's kind of easing the traffic that's going north, and they have a lot of expressways that are going in like corridors, I guess you would call them, that are going in like west of the cities, because before we have I-15, right, that just runs south and north, and we didn't really have anything going west. And so if you had to go west, you'd have to drive through the cities. And we've been expanding quite far out west. It's going to take forever just to get to the freeway if you lived out west on any of these cities. So now we have, even in Salt Lake and you know, Farmington, Ogden, Syracuse, all those areas, we have a west corridor that just runs out, and then it actually meets up most times with I-15, which has taken a lot of that commute time down in those western sides. But it's not all about getting from point A to point B. So biking is huge here. Salt Lake City is packed with bike lanes, making it a paradise for cyclists, and whether you're into road biking or mountain biking. We're a very biker-friendly state here, and most of the cities, even outside of Salt Lake, are starting to have those dedicated bike lanes, which if you ever rode in a city, you'll definitely appreciate, you know, those dedicated lanes there.
And what I do appreciate about it is, like Sloan said, it's not just in Salt Lake. So a lot of times when you go to other states, only the bigger cities have bike lanes. Like Brigham City, which is a smaller city that's even north of Ogden, has dedicated bike lanes there. We're just a really, really biker-friendly state all the way around. So community in Utah is more than just a concept, it's a way of life. Across the state, you'll find a vibrant tapestry of events that bring people together, creating a tight-knit sense of belonging and shared experience. From laid-back neighborhood barbecues to high-energy street festivals, each event showcases the local spirit. Take our neighborhood gatherings, for instance. It's not uncommon to see streets lined with tables as families and friends come together for potlucks or block parties. And of course, we live in Ogden, so 25th Street oftentimes closes down to have festivals or even the farmers market.
They have some car shows there in the summer too, which is really cool. Like, it's amazing.
Yeah, we always have like First Friday Art Night strolls, so there is a lot happening, and that is from city to city. Now, these gatherings are a staple, reflecting Utah's friendly, inclusive atmosphere where everyone knows your name and newcomers are welcomed with open arms.
So we do have lots of festivals out here in Utah as well, and we are unfortunately losing our beloved Sundance Film Festival. It was one of the biggest festivals out here in Park City, but there are different ones as well. Sundance was just, you know, the tip of the iceberg. Throughout the year, we have lots of variety of festivals that celebrate everything from pioneer heritage, our diverse artistic communities, and the Utah Arts Festival and the Moab Music Festival are really perfect examples of some of the rich programs that spotlight, you know, both local talent and international stars. So we also have something locally that's called the Twilight Series, and it's really cool because they keep prices really low for like big artists, and some of them are like indie artists and some of them are big. Like we've had acts like Modest Mouse and Death Cab for a Cutie, Rilo Kiley. Like there's been a ton of like Flaming Lips and just things like that come, and they have one in Salt Lake and one in Ogden, and so they sell out super quickly, but the tickets are like $25 or something cheap like that. You can buy a whole pass for the whole summer, which is really cool too. And you know, usually if you're gonna see these bands, you're talking like, you know, probably like $50 to $100 easily, and it's more of an intimate setting because it's a smaller venue than probably the bigger arenas that they, you know, could possibly sell out there.
Yeah, and the really cool thing, like Sloan said, is beyond that, like even though Sundance was the big festival that really Utah was known for, we have a ton of music festivals, a ton of art festivals, because we're very like artistically diverse here in Utah. And we've got the Shakespeare Festival, which is down in southern Utah. That's a huge one. I think that was even made fun of on like Family Guy or one of those stupid cartoons. But we do have a lot of, we have like the Charles Dickens Festival.
Oh yeah, we went to that a few years ago, and that was pretty cool. And out in St. George and like the Cedar City area too, like Kim talked about with the Shakespeare Festival, there's a lot of like performing arts schools out there, and so you can see a lot of really cool stuff out there, like plays and just theatrical, you know, type stuff. So it's really cool. We did have, I guess they're kind of starting to phase out, we had something called Reggae Rise Up, and it had like a lot of reggae bands if you're into those kind of bands. And the cool thing is it actually started here, and then they kind of moved out into Florida and Oregon and all that. But I don't know if this reggae wasn't as popular in Utah, but when we went, it was always packed. So we'll come through Salt Lake, which like Kim was saying earlier, is only about a half an hour from really anywhere other than obviously if you're out in southern Utah, but
yeah,
close, so.
And as we continue growing, we keep hearing of more and more festivals that are being added because like Sloan said, we just have so many great venues, and because Utah is the beautiful backdrop it is, we have a lot of venues outdoors that people can play in. So yeah, we hope to get a lot more, but we do have a ton even just now. So volunteering is another cornerstone of Utah's community life, and honestly one of the biggest things that is near and dear to my heart and why I love Utah so much. Utahns pride themselves on their commitment to service, leading the nation, and volunteerism. This isn't just about filling time time, it's a fundamental part of our community identity. Schools, corporations, and individual citizens alike find ways to give back, whether it's helping at local food banks, participating in city cleanup days, or volunteering at state parks. These volunteer activities not only support our communities, but also serve as crucial learning experiences, particularly for young people. Parents often bring their children along, showing them the importance of helping others and making a difference. This hands-on approach to service helps instill a lifelong commitment to giving back, ensuring that the next generation continues Utah's legacy of community support. So kind of a cool story about that. Sloan and I volunteer at a place called the Lantern House, which is a place to feed the homeless and hungry. And actually, the Lantern House gets so many donations from full-on grocery stores, restaurants, that oftentimes they have to turn donations away. And I think there's nothing more that shows the community spirit here in Utah than that, because I've never known of a place that has gotten so many donations they've actually had to turn them down, and that's something very unique to us here in Utah.
But what's life like in the city or in the burbs? It's a mix of everything, really. In the heart of Utah's urban areas like Salt Lake City, the cultural scene is bustling. We have art festivals such as the Utah Arts Festival that bring together artists, musicians, and craftspeople showcasing their talents amidst lively crowds. And Mainstreet's lined with vibrant booths, live music stages, and areas dedicated to interactive art projects for all ages. These events are not only just highlighting the creativity within the community, they also foster a sense of community and pride and connection amongst other attendees. We have farmers markets, and those are also a staple in both the urban and the suburban settings of Utah. These markets go beyond just selling fresh produce. They're social gatherings where locals meet to enjoy organic, locally sourced food, homemade goods, and of course live entertainment. Each market, from the downtown farmers market Salt Lake City to the smaller setups that you'll find in almost every city in the suburban areas like Sandy or even Ogden, they're going to reflect the community's taste and the dedication to supporting local farmers and artisans. And one of the cool things too that Kim and I got to experience in Salt Lake City when we were living downtown, like probably 12, probably even longer, 12, 15 years ago. But when the Olympics came here last time, I think actually they weren't even here, people just qualifying for the other Olympics. I think it was maybe Japan or something, I don't know. Sean White and all of them, they actually came downtown Salt Lake and they were actually doing, live competitions downtown getting ready for the Olympics. And then we got to go to Park City and experience, them training for the Olympics there. So we do have the Olympics coming back, and is it 2030?
Yeah, 2030 or 2032. I can't remember.
It's coming in the early 30s, and so we'll get to have that experience again, which is a pro and a con because it's going to make everything busier. If you're thinking about moving to Utah, one of the good things is if you buy, in the next few years, you actually could experience the growth that usually happens in a metropolitan area after we have something like the Olympics. So we could see property values rising even more, which is good and bad because obviously some of us feel like it's already unaffordable, but it's going to keep expanding, we think.
Yeah, and that's one thing I do have to say that I do love about Utah in terms of communities, both in our downtown cities and, like Sloan talked about, in our suburbs. Everywhere we are supporters of local business. I think Utah is one of the biggest places that has local businesses, entrepreneurs, things like that, because we earn so much support of that. So for farmers markets, for us, it's all local businesses. There's no big names there. You can't find a Starbucks there. It's all local, just showcasing local foods, artists, creators, so really cool.
And if you love kettle corn, they have like the best kettle corn at any farmer's market. I don't care which one you go to in Salt Lake, Farmington, Ogden, whatever, you gotta get your kettle corn.
I myself am a fan of the chips and salsa at any farmer's market.
Fair.
So each part of Utah, whether along the bustling Wasatch Front or in the quieter, picturesque small towns, offers its own unique slice of life. For instance, in the suburbs, you might find more family-oriented activities and community sports leagues, which strengthen neighborhood bonds and provide family-friendly entertainment. In contrast, the urban centers offer a faster-paced lifestyle with a rich array of restaurants, theaters, and nightlife. July in Utah is particularly special, featuring not just one, but two major celebrations. Independence Day is marked by spectacular fireworks, parades, and festivals that draw crowds with their vibrant displays and patriotic spirit. Then, just a few weeks later, Pioneer Day, or as some like to call Pie and Beer Day, on July 24th, commemorates Utah's early settlers with even more fireworks, historical reenactments, and rodeos. Usually that's when the rodeos start here. This double dose of summer festivities is not only fun, but also deeply rooted in Utah's history and culture, reflecting the state's pioneer heritage and its transformation into a modern hub. And one of the coolest things about fireworks here in Utah is almost every park has a lake, and so typically speaking, you see fireworks over a lake setting, and it's just gorgeous and you just can't beat it.
Totally. You can even go and hike like one of the peaks as well, and you'll see, the whole valley of fireworks, which is really cool. And I like to joke because my birthday's in July, so I'm like, I think they're just celebrating double because it's my birthday.
Yeah,
but,
absolutely.
I think it's why.
And the cool thing is Sloan's birthday actually falls like right between July 4th and July 24th. It's like in between that, so it's just a whole month of celebration.
Yeah, I think we should just go with that, so I think Utah is just celebrating me.
Absolutely.
Sports enthusiasts find a lot to love here in Utah, where the landscape of professional sports is exciting and ever expanding. The state is already intensely supportive of its established teams, and the introduction of a new franchise is adding even more energy to the local sports scene here. The Utah Jazz, which is Utah's long-standing NBA team, has been the cornerstone of the professional sports situation here in the state. Games at the Delta Center in downtown Salt Lake City are a major draw, with the fans filling the stands that cheer on their team with an electrifying atmosphere. The Utah Jazz have a passionate fan base, and game nights transform the whole city into a sea of blue, green, and yellow. Adding to the sports excitement, Utah is now welcoming a new NHL team, and the arrival of this team is set to ignite the passions of hockey fans across the state, which is broadening Utah's professional sports landscape. It's also going to bring a fresh perspective and a wave of sports enthusiasm. The team will play in the arena with stunning views of the snow-capped Wasatch Mountains, which provides not just the top-tier hockey action, but also incredible visual experiences that are hard to find really in any NHL city. So I remember this team was actually, I don't know what they were called, but they were from Arizona, right? Do you remember what they were called out there?
Oh, I can't remember what they were called.
Dang it. But they were coming from Arizona. It's kind of weird that Arizona had a hockey team before we did, because I'm just like, there's not even any snow in Arizona. I mean, I guess there is in Flagstaff.
But it's not you don't think of icy and ice skating.
So I was just like, I mean, we've had the Grizzlies here, right? Which is like a semi-pro team, and those are always fun to watch, but it was always just interesting to me that we just never had an NHL team, and some of these desert, Vegas, right, has the Knights, and there's kind of all these desert places have one. And I know we are the desert technically, but at least we still get snow, right? But yeah, it's going to be cool to see an NHL team come here, and they've already been packing crowds, and so it seems like the locals and people traveling around here are really supportive of the team. So, and
a little secret, they've been called the Utah Hockey Club as kind of an interim name, but we have heard through the grapevine that they're going to be called the Utah Mammoths. So yeah, you heard it here first. A couple funny things I do have to say. One, before I moved to Utah, all I knew about Utah was the Utah Jazz, because anytime you talk to anybody from Utah, it was all about the Jazz, because that was their main only professional sports team forever before we got Real Salt Lake, the soccer team, and then et cetera, et cetera. And can we please petition, which I know we don't have the space, but we have tons of land out here. Can we petition for an NFL team? What would you call the NFL team? Oh, that's a good question. Y'all, I love football so much. It's my one. Pioneers? Oh my gosh, the Utah Pioneers. We just came up with Utah's first NFL team. I mean, the mascot could be pretty cool. Let us know below what you would name a Utah NFL team, but I think that's pretty cool. So, keeping with the whole sports trend, the pursuit of a Major League Baseball team actually further illustrates Utah's growing status as a sports hub. Efforts to bring a Major League Baseball team to Salt Lake City include plans for a new stadium positioned to offer breathtaking views of the downtown skyline against the backdrop of the majestic Wasatch Range. This setting would make it one of the most scenic ballparks in all of baseball, enhancing the game day experience with Utah's natural beauty. This expansion in professional sports reflects Utah's vibrant community spirit and its residents' love for high-energy live sporting events. The introduction of new teams not only diversifies the sports culture, also brings various economic benefits to the area, including increased tourism and new job opportunities. I actually did have the Salt Lake Bees, which was a minor league baseball team that was housed in downtown Salt Lake. So I think the plan is to house them in that same area, but build a brand new gorgeous baseball stadium. Yeah, because it's really weird. When they actually moved the
Bees, if you don't know that, so they moved the Bees from downtown Salt Lake, and they still call them the Salt Lake Bees, even though they're in a city called Harriman. And I don't know, I think it's interesting, but like when we go to games there, I mean, you had the Salt Lake Wasatch Mountains just right there in the background, and it was so cool. I keep thinking about where they would put like an MLB stadium, because I don't think it's going to go in the same area, because last time I heard, and it could already be being built, I don't know, I haven't been in that area for a little while, they were gonna build like high-rise condos over there, so.
I don't know, but I will say there are so many states that do that, where you have a team, like I'm thinking New York teams, right? Like New York Giants, it's not actually, the stadium isn't actually housed in New York.
The San Francisco 49ers are now further out from San Francisco now.
Yeah, so again, that's another bid, in my opinion, to get an NFL team here. If you don't know, football is my number one sport. It's my only sport that I really like. So I am dying to get an NFL team here. And everyone's like, but we don't have room. But I'm like,
we have all these college teams.
We have the West Desert. We have plenty of room. So anyway.
And I think, people even all around I think it would actually draw a lot of crowds in, so.
I think so too. In terms of tourism, if you think about it, just the travel aspect and everything. So for example, a lot of people in Utah, because we don't have an NFL team, are Denver Broncos fans. So they travel to Denver to see sports teams. If we were to get some of these teams, Idaho actually is one of our biggest tourist people that come down, because they don't have really very many professional. They don't even have a basketball team. So we do draw.
Do they have any professional teams?
I don't think so.
They have big college teams, but
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So in terms of tourism, we actually draw from Idaho, Wyoming, Montana. So there would be
Nevada,
a lot
but now Nevada has the Raiders. So.
Yeah, but there's a lot of opportunity for tourism for sure.
Yeah. So for sports fans in Utah, this obviously means more opportunities to experience live games, more team merchandise to collect, of course, you have to have that, and more thrilling sports narratives to follow. Backdrop of the Wasatch Mountains, like Kim was talking about, is obviously only going to enhance these experiences, offering fans just a beautiful backdrop setting that is awe-inspiring and has the sports himself, of course. Whether it's a basketball, hockey, or potentially baseball, Utah's rapidly becoming a key player on the national sports stage, which makes it an exciting time for local fans and anyone visiting Utah as well.
And even though I joke, I am only a football fan, which technically I am, it's so fun to go to any live sporting event. So like, that's how I will watch any other sport if it's live.
That is true, because I cannot stand watching baseball like on TV, But live, it's cool because the energy's there and it's fun. And you get some hot dogs and some popcorn.
Of course, it's about the snacks for us.
Of course, it's about the snacks
and
right?
the gear. You have to have the snacks and the gear.
Yes.
So dining in Utah, of course, we have to talk about dining in Utah, and that's evolved a lot too. We have hundreds of restaurants in the Wasatch Front, and they range from local to chain, with all different types of cultures being represented. We've done tons of videos on the top restaurants in every city, and quite frankly, we could do hundreds more, because there are just so many great places to eat here in Utah. If you're a foodie, definitely don't discount Utah as a place to consider calling home. And honestly, as much as people move here for our outdoors, when people visit, they rave about our food choices, our restaurants. So honestly, if you are a foodie, it might be a good thing to consider Utah just for that fact alone.
I totally agree, and it's really funny too, because I just like to talk about comments sometimes, and I had a guy in I think one of our food videos in Salt Lake just like ream me for like that Utah had not good food at all, and I'm like, hey, you're like the only person that I've actually heard say that.
Ever.
And it's funny because commenters were like, really? I don't really agree with you at all, but like we have a lot of like, it doesn't matter if you just like a quick burger or something light to something that's actually fine dining. We have a lot of just food specialists that are out in the Salt Lake area and Park City and all that kind of stuff too. So I thought that was an interesting comment. But I guess everyone has their opinion.
And to me, one of the things that I love so much about our food and our food choices is it ranges. So there's a lot of cities, I feel like, or a lot of states that cater to maybe like
seafood
or just one type. Like we have vegan options, we have vegetarian options, and almost not only do we have full restaurants that have those as options, but we almost at every restaurant they cater to having something for vegans, for vegetarians, for any sort of dietary restrictions, right? We have people that have celiac disease that can't have wheat. We have full gluten-free menus for them. So it's just interesting to me because even if you don't think about living here, a lot of people love to vacation here just because we have such great food options.
Yeah, for sure. And lastly, we just have to chat about the wildlife. So from bald eagles in Flaming Gorge to deer in the Rockies to bison, and I even seen coyotes out here in Antelope State Park. Our state is a haven for nature lovers. And with our distinct seasons, you can ski in the morning and even golf in the afternoon. Talk about the best of both worlds. We've got tons of nature conservatories and even bird observations throughout the state, and of course you can catch a glimpse of all kinds of wildlife hiking many of our trails in the beautiful Utah mountains. And we've done several videos, and we'll do several more, I'm sure, about the hiking trails out here in Utah. So go ahead and just click up above and you can check out some of those videos if you want to hike while you're here in Utah, or if you're living here and you want to check out maybe some trails you've never heard of.
And one of the things I have to say is the most unique about us is that you can live in a city. If you live in Salt Lake City, you will still see deer in your backyard. It's not just reserved for out in the country or out in the super quiet areas. No, we have animals roaming around everywhere. Our cities are still kept very nature oriented, if that makes sense. We are right up against the mountains, so deer, we do get cougars and mountain lions, which is kind of terrifying, but they don't usually come down this far. So
but take out the bad kids Krampus, I'm just kidding.
But honestly, if you love nature and you love to see animals, Utah is a great place.
So whether you're thinking about moving here or you're a long-time local just looking to explore more, Utah has something to offer for everyone. We are here to help you find that perfect spot if you're looking to move here, or if you're local that's looking for different space. Check out the link below to connect with us, and don't forget to explore all of our playlists on life in Utah for more insights about what you can do here and what you can afford when you choose to move to this great state of Utah.
We hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Picking where you'll call home is an important decision, and we would love to help you make that smooth transition to the northern Utah area. If you're looking to purchase in northern Utah, we'd love to help you out. Give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. And until next time, we are keeping it real. Estate.